IPMNation.com.
Well, I wrote this song for the Christian youth. I want to teach kids the Christian truth. If you want to reach those kids on the street, then you got to do a rap to a hip-hop beat. So I gave my sermon an urban kick. My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick. My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is my... Woo!
Jesus, buddy.
He's a life changer, miracle arranger. Born to the virgin mom in a manger. Water to wine, he's a drink exchanger. And he died for your sins. I preach the word, that's my gig, and I rhyme better than Notorious Big. All the other MCs, I wish them well, but if you live in sin, you burn in hell.
Jesus, buddy.
Now I'ma pass the mic to my lovely wife. She's a fly MC and the light of my life. So to bust a rhyme without further ado, take it away, Mary Sue.
Jesus Christ is my... He's the son of the original G. And he was sent to earth to elucidate the way that we should be. What? Like if another MC says, you're a freak, you're a lame butt rapper and your rhymes are weak. I don't get mad and I don't critique. I forgive him and turn the other cheek. I don't blaspheme and I don't brag. I don't cuss and my pants don't sag. I do exude a little Christian swag and I'm proud to be an American.
Jesus Christ is a... Let his light shine through ya. Let his love pop a cap in your butt and say hallelujah. Jesus Christ is a... He's a homie MC, JC, you see. He's an honest, caring, peace-loving like me.
Jesus, buddy.
If you do drugs and you think you're cool, you need to come to Sunday school. Put those drugs in a garbage can. Stand up tall, you're a Christian man. Word up. I'm freestyling.
Hit me.
Donald Trump Jr. is testifying to the Senate Intelligence Committee. Unfortunately, news cameras are not allowed inside.
Donald Trump Jr. Previous aliases include DTJ, His Royal Drinkiness, Senior Bong, The Freak, Too Fast, Too Juniorous, and Sir himself.
Did the president have advanced knowledge of the Trump Tower meeting?
Yeah, but only because he can see the future. Like yesterday, he said he just knows he's going to prison. That's spooky.
Jesus Christ.
You guys are lawyers, right? So, okay, I backed over this pizza delivery kid, and his big-ass Adam's apple dinged my bumper. Am I entitled to compensation? The secret is to launch the firecracker from the bottom of your crack. It stings a little, but you get drunker faster. Russia collusion? Not I. I've been crab fishing on the high seas.
How do you feel about your father putting you in this situation?
Oh no, here it comes. Ah! I'll tell you everything. But when I'm in jail, you guys have to take him fishing. Wait, does that person have to type everything I say? Ass. Whoa, she typed it.
Sometimes it feels just right. You fall for it from the first line. But then you read a bit more and realize it's all Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yay. They're turning all the frogs gay. Now that Orlando is done, he no longer says it's a false flag. No, the story is dumb. The CIA dropped a gay bomb.
Interdimensional pedophiles.
Whatever you say, Alex.
Sandy Hook never happened.
Wait, what the
Illuminati rules the world.
I don't think that is true.
New World Order, Freemasons, FEMA camps and more.
Alex Jones, Jones calling. Alex Jones, Alex Jones, Alex Jones, wake up now.
Wake up now.
Alex Jones, Jones calling. Alex Jones, Jones, Alex Jones, Alex Jones is so woke. It's so woke. Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yay. They're turning all the frogs gay. When I think about you, I have to laugh to myself. You are such a long cow, not even sure you believe it.
Hillary is a lizard.
Where did you get that from?
It's Africa.
Not this again.
Liberals are Satanists.
Where is my tinfoil hat?
Forget to buy my Infowars.com.
Alex Jones, Jones calling Alex Jones, Alex Jones, Alex Jones, wake up now. Wake up now. Alex Jones, Jones calling Alex Jones, Alex Jones, Alex Jones is so woke. It's so woke. Yippee-yi-yay, yippee-yi-yay. They're turning all the frogs gay. Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yay.
Buy my milk vitality.
Oh my God, I'm president. I'm so rich and I'm an ass. And there's a wig on my head. I just FaceTime Putin. I told him I'm his biggest fan. Got so much scandal on the front page. Holy shit, let's build a wall. Ooh, I can tweet so well. Wonder if I can say the N-word. Wait, can I really say the N-word?
North Korea, North Korea, in North Korea. North Korea, North Korea, North Korea, North Korea,
North Korea. I woke up in Donald Trump's body, so orange, overweight, and slightly balding. Now I got no choice but to ruin this country. I can't believe that it's Freaky Friday. It's Freaky Friday in Donald Trump's body. I eat pizza the wrong way and I drink water like a widow.
sequence starts.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Very, very large brain. He said, Donald Trump, they don't know what to do. Never happened.
Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Oh, my allergies. Welcome. It's that time again. Matt Connerton Unleashed. We're live on WMNH 95.3 FM, emanating from downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Of course, also on Comcast 97 in Manchester, streaming at WMNHradio.org, and of course on Facebook via Facebook Live on the Matt Connerton Unleashed Facebook page. It is Friday, June 14th, 2019. And 603-250-6007 is the number to call. 603-250-6007. And there's a gentleman in a that's a very summer color there you have on. And look at you. Look at you.
Yes, Matt. I'm here to celebrate the 73rd birthday of the first magistrate of the Republic, Donald John Trump.
70. I thought it was 72.
He was born in 1946, Matt.
I'm terrible at math. Okay.
Yetties often are.
73. That's a stereotype. How dare you?
I would make the joke that, a Yeti has to unzip his pants to count to 12. But not only is that sexist, it beggars explanation that we can't offer on WMNH.
Well,
95.3, this being a family channel.
Right, yes.
Is it a channel? Or
it's a station. It's a radio station.
A Clear Channel is something.
No,
else.
we're not owned by Clear Channel.
No, we are.
And Clear Channel was taken over by, it's actually iHeartRadio now.
With a heart or Heart?
Heart, yes. Well, hang on a second now. In honor of our president, Donald John Trump, this is only fitting, I think, that we, to celebrate. And it's also Flag Day. How appropriate. Hang on.
The real first lady of this country, according to Donald John Trump.
I was going to play something, but we have a call, so we'll grab this first. Hi, welcome to Matt Connerton Unleashed. Who's this?
It's Easy G.
Oh,
Easy G.
It's Easy G. And what do
John Hopwood a few minutes ago.
And what do we know about Easy G? His time is now.
You can't see me, my time is now. In case you forgot or fell off, I'm still hot, knock your shell off. My body stack fat, plus I can't turn the swell off. The franchise doing big business, I live this, it's automatic, I win this. So
it's Easy G. His time is now.
So's Creamland.
I don't think so.
I met Congressman Chris Pappas for the first time. I shook his hand.
Oh,
it's a nice speech. Thanks for your hard work and over in Washington D.C.
Why don't you tell the folks where you met Congressman Pappas?
Oh, at Goldenrod?
Yeah, I just told him I went to the Pride Flag there at City Hall.
No, we didn't hear that because of your
Tim
intro.
Baines was there. Pat Long was there.
Mayor Craig was there.
Honorable Heidi Hammer.
I didn't see Heidi Hammer.
Heidi?
I didn't see Heidi, and I was there. I've known Heidi since 1964.
Yeah, she was there, and her son was there, and the dog was there.
The dog was there?
Why were they avoiding me?
No Peter
Did
White,
you see
though.
the dog? No Peter White.
No.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on.
She's mad because
no. Hold on. Stop everything. Stop everything. Hang on. Are you saying Easy G Peter White wasn't there?
No, he didn't say he was going now, so.
He wasn't.
Going to Phil's Spa to hang out with Chrissy.
I don't know.
That's his new favorite hangout. I'll be going there on the 29th to get my
I think he should.
Home Depot employee was
get a
there.
pedicure.
I think he should.
I've never been there, so.
Yeah.
Never been where? You've been to
He goes there like
Creamland.
once a week now.
He works at Creamland. But the real place to go is Goldenrod. Goldenrod, I really like your food and your ice cream.
Goldenrod.
So much better than Creamland.
Well, you hear that? I have to go now. My dinner's ready. So.
Oh, your dinner's ready? Where'd
Friday.
you get dinner from? Goldenrod? I hope you got dinner from Goldenrod.
Hey, I have phallic symbol envy. How come yours is standing up at a 45-degree angle when my microphone's drooping?
It is drooping. Actually, you're right about that. For those who see, if you're watching online, yes, mine is
erect.
Well, I want to be careful. It is afternoon drive. This isn't Matt Connerton Unsheathed.
Takes two hands to handle Matt's whopper.
Matt Connerton Unsheathed is only available online.
I thought it was only the dark
Yes,
web.
on the dark web, and I'm legally prohibited from telling you how to find it. So let's see.
Dreamland.
On Facebook Live, hello to everybody. I saw Jenny in there. Rocky Huber, hello. Kristen Warner. Fred Bonig from the Daily Ripple. Dr. Jeff Cassell is in there. Fred shared a link to a song, but he also shared, what's this? This one will make you say, wow, he just said that. No bad words. Just a concept that is pretty obvious. Oh, we have to check this out because the president was speaking just a little bit ago, and he may still be about health care. You know, he did say...
we were talking about the flag, the real first lady of this country. 242 years young.
Oh, wait, is this about Trump or is this about somebody else? This is a 9-minute clip.
Elizabeth Warren's going to be here in Manchester at the Flag Day dinner.
What is this?
I don't know whether it's on Flag Day or Saturday because I don't go to those events anymore. Since I don't have any money.
Songs that are traditional folk songs that are just changing.
Oh, wait, I think I clicked the wrong link. Did I click the wrong link, Fred?
I don't know. I'm not a mind reader.
I'm not sure what this...
But mind reading is the basis of Trump's appeal to America. 42% his popularity is at. If
Yes.
you include Rasmussen, which is
You can
very
get
friendly.
you can get reelected at 42%. It's been done. It's been done.
You can, even if you're 13 points down to Joe Biden.
So in honor of the president
Of
here,
Creamland.
we should. He's the president of Creamland.
Has he ever been to Creamland?
I'm sure he'd love it if he
I've
had.
never been to Cream. Well, I've never been to Goldenrod.
Oh.
But I've been to Creamland.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr.
Norma
President.
Jean.
Happy birthday to
Now, do you think
We're going to have John Kennedy's remark that he can retire from politics now that he's been sung to by Marilyn Monroe?
Do you think Ivanka sang that to him? I'm sorry, I mean
no,
Melania.
That's a copyrighted song.
I meant Melania. Yes, it is actually. Yes,
It is.
It is. I know.
It definitely is.
It definitely is. I know.
I'm
yes.
surprised we could have gone into Facebook jail over that, or is it?
No, we're pretty
YouTube
good.
jail?
We're pretty good with that now. We just appeal them when we get something blocked. We appeal it,
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
and we usually win.
As her last husband, Arthur Miller, the great American playwright, said, after their divorce, she went back to being the happy whore, which she found repugnant when she was palling around with the Kennedys and what's his name, Lawford, Peter Lawford.
Peter Lawford,
the brother-in-law of the president.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, hello to Christian Collins.
How could you not know that Peter Lawford was the brother-in-law of the president?
I don't know.
Oh, you imbecile!
I can't even picture Peter Lawford.
He's definitely of
I know
the
that
end of like my generation.
Yeah.
Well, I bet
I'm a
Peter
little
White
young.
knows him because he used to be on Match Game 74.
All I know is I know he was part of the Rat Pack, right? Wasn't
Yes,
he
but
considered
he got
part of that?
thrown out,
Like I can't
eventually.
even. How do you get thrown out?
Well, Frank Sinatra got mad at JFK because he preferred to play golf in Palm Springs with Bing Crosby, who was thoroughly Republican.
Oh.
And Frank always thought he was instrumental in helping get JFK elected because, of course, he had the connection with the outfit, the Chicago mob, and he also was extremely popular, and he campaigned heavily for him.
Who had the connection with the Chicago mob?
Frank Sinatra.
Oh, okay.
Giancana, Mambo.
I wonder how he felt about flippers.
I know all about flipping. For 30, 40 years, I've been watching flippers. It almost ought to be outlawed.
I'm just wondering how he felt about
Hey,
it. I'm not implying anything.
Johnny Fontaine in The Godfather is based on Francis Albert Sinatra.
Oh.
When did they flip you? Tell me. Don't lie.
I remember reading that, actually. Yeah.
This being made ain't working out the way I thought it would. A lot of responsibilities.
Rocky Huber says, I think you could get voted Master of the Universe with 42%.
I doubt it.
I don't know. I might be running. We talked about that yesterday on the show when Michael Martineau was here. It's going to be me versus EZG. I know EZG is much more famous than I am.
SOB. You know I'm thinking of running for president if they give me the ruling that I'm destitute and don't have to come up with $1,000.
It's $1,000 to run for president?
$1,000. Are you destitute?
By what standard?
I don't know. I can't get it out of the Secretary of State, which is the reason we ought to tear the Secretary of State's office down. Just
Right.
like they tried to do last year for different reasons.
Try to tear the office down?
Oh, yeah. Tear it down. I mean, it's a corner office, a nice office.
Yeah.
Maybe we could refurb it for the president of Amoskeag or use suzerain.
I wonder if Trump is still speaking.
Trump is a you-know-what.
No, I don't know what.
He's the first magistrate of the republic.
That's right. Thank you. Yes.
So is every president.
Yes.
It gives him extraordinary powers to ignore the Constitution of the United States.
Ignore the Constitution? Oh, no.
Since he is the first magistrate, he is the font, not only of all knowledge and culture in this country, but of all legal definition of anything.
What he should
what
do...
What really is a meter?
What he should do really is just do an executive order nullifying the Constitution.
They don't have any. They don't have the silver meter anymore.
What do you mean?
In Paris.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Matt, you're so naive.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
how do we measure ourselves now? Maybe in Trumps.
Well,
how many Trumps tall do you think Peter White is?
Oh,
1.6.
Well, Trump is not as tall as he claims, because Trump likes to say that he's this big guy, like he's 6'4", and he probably
6'3"
was.
claims.
He probably was at one time.
No, Dr. Jeff Cassell told me he's not 6'3". He
Oh.
met him when they were both young men at the University of Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
An Ivy League school.
Yeah, well, I mean,
the Ivy League being a football conference.
we do shrink as we get older. So.
Not John C. Hopwood. Surprisingly, I've gained a half inch.
I definitely.
I have osteoporosis.
No, we
I have to take
generally
calcium every
shrink.
day.
Yeah. Well, when I found out I'd gone from 5'11" to 5'10", I didn't take it well.
I gained half an inch. I was rather surprised.
You gained half an inch.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
I'll tell you afterwards.
Mm.
It's true, though.
You're not kidding.
I swear.
You gained a half an inch in height.
That's what they told me at the hospital.
Oh.
Since I don't have much height, I very jealously guard what I have.
Right. So, in other words, at some point, someone made a mistake.
No, because I used to measure myself when I was in the Army. So you actually lose like a half an inch during a day.
See, I always measure myself when I'm walking out of a convenience store, and I'm a different height every day. It's very odd. Yeah.
If you'd stop battling the customers, you and your white knight syndrome is that?
I know.
Racist?
I didn't know what you were talking about for a second. No, that is not racist. Actually,
Why not?
That's one of the few things you can still say.
Can you?
I think so.
I object.
Did you enjoy the rapping for Jesus at the beginning of the show? You're a Christian, man. Did you enjoy that?
I don't like blasphemy.
Did you find that blasphemous? Why is...
I wasn't listening to it.
Now, is that racist? Why is rapping for Jesus blasphemous?
Anything for Jesus is blasphemous.
Anything for Jesus is blasphemous?
Yes, Jesus should be ineffable.
That's a broad...
He, she, or whatever he is, because I'm sure he encompasses all genders and definitions, is ineffable that way, or is that God? I get them confused. I always thought God outranked Jesus. I thought he was on the, and then there's God, the deity that Donald Trump and the evangelicals worship.
Oh, hello to Miriam. Peter always says Banish, but I suspect it's actually Banash, who is watching on Facebook.
Well, that's French.
Yes.
Oh, Banash.
Well, now I was raised Catholic, and in the Holy Trinity, they're equal partners. You got God, you got Jesus, you got the Holy Spirit.
No. God is the 5-star general of gods. Yahweh, whatever you want to call him.
He's a 5-star general.
He's a 5-star general. He's got all that brass. I'd say the most Jesus is probably a lieutenant general.
Is he a retired general now? Because that means I'm probably going to see him on cable news advocating for war.
And the Holy Ghost, which, Protestants don't generally think about. I would say he's something like the CIA. She, or whatever. I've heard people say the Holy Ghost is actually Mary and the Marian concept. But then, you Catholics aren't very woman-friendly, so...
Well, we were raised... I was raised... That it was...
that you were raised.
I was.
Like a dog, a cat, a wild...
Really,
well, you're not wild, like a civet.
That's extraordinarily hurtful. No, I was raised that it's the Holy Spirit, not the Holy Ghost. I just think it sounds odd when people say Holy Ghost.
What a bunch of malarkey. I like ghosts better.
And then I'll be like, Holy Ghost. You just said Holy Ghost and not
Great
Holy Spirit.
Caesar's ghost. Who's to say that? Great Caesar's
I've heard
ghost.
that, yes.
Barry White.
Barry White used to say Great
He was
Caesar's
the editor
ghost?
of the Daily Planet, you so-and-so.
Oh.
You not tail-wagging anymore.
Barry
Stump
White?
wagging.
His name was Barry White?
Deeper and deeper. Yeah, he had another career as a soul singer.
Right.
I can't remember any of the lyrics of a Barry White song.
Can't
Barry
get enough
White.
of your love, baby. I don't know why. Yeah. He's dead, right?
With having to hit those, that bass. I'm surprised he lived as long as he did.
Hello to Wayne Noel, who joins us in the Facebook live chat.
It's a well-known fact that baritones have a shorter lifespan than tenors.
Right, obviously.
I guess because they stir things up so much.
So anything for Jesus, so like Christian rock is blasphemous?
Oh, no. All rock is blasphemous.
Oh, right. Well, it is the devil's music.
Except for Elvis Presley.
Oh, good. Why is that?
He was the king.
Where do you think he is? We were talking about this the other day, but you weren't here.
Well, he's retired now, but he ended his career on a road crew, a union road crew.
That's not what I mean.
Outside of Flint, Michigan. He all he had to do was stand around and scratch his fanny. He didn't even have to work. It was a good job.
Where do you think he ended up after he died?
In Flint, Michigan.
Oh, so he isn't.
I don't
now.
know. He's probably in Florida now.
Yeah.
At the manufactured home. I think Joel visited him.
Right.
Under his nom de plume, to use some en français.
Oui or something.
I can't remember my French. C'est bon.
So what isn't blasphemous?
What do you mean?
Well, what can you do that's not blasphemous to
that
Jesus?
The way you people talk about
let's not bring race into it.
Jesus on the air and TV is just shocking.
Who is you people?
Well, I'm not including you when I say
Thank
the word people.
you. Yeah. Oh, that's very mean.
Perps, maybe.
Oh, okay. Let's not bring my
peeps.
Yeah.
Peeps. Those little.
That's what the
little things on Easter. What are they? Chicks.
That's
peeps,
what the young people say now. They say peeps.
I
and
disagree.
Homies. You disagree with what?
You said something about oldies.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I said peeps. That's what the young people say now.
I hear something else inside your Gulliver.
I'm
an expert. I'm a mind reader.
So you didn't enjoy the rapping for Jesus.
I'm contradicting myself. Remember, I wasn't a mind reader. But, Norm's taught me a few tricks.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, that's very exciting.
Yeah. You ought to put lead plates in your hat from now on. What's this thing with the hat?
Now you've got Wayne doing it, by the way.
Little Wayne?
No, not Little Wayne, just Wayne. Wayne Noel. Now he's saying you people.
Who's Wayne Noel?
You don't know who Wayne Noel is?
I know who Papa Noel is.
Live in a cave?
But Père Noel, Father Christmas.
Father
That's
Christmas.
up in Quebec. Oh, and I guess France.
Is that
France.
blasphemous?
Yeah, do you ever realize that Santa is Satan? Just a little dyslexic.
Whoa.
It's definitely Santa is satanic.
Oh.
And I'll never forget
How
they used to
dare
have
you.
Davy and Goliath, the talking dog, on an ostensibly religious show.
Yes.
If that wasn't pure pitching Satanism, I don't know what is.
Wow. In what way?
A talking dog?
No, that's a good point. Hey, it could have been a talking snake. That would be worse, wouldn't it?
A talking Yeti is bad enough.
Yeah, that's funny.
You know, they say the Sasquatch is dead.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real funny. Thanks.
What do you mean? You insist
nothing.
you aren't a Sasquatch.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I haven't gotten the reports from... but,
Yeah.
Hey, what about Donald Trump's birthday?
You're very hurtful.
You're very...
so he's 73 years young.
Sensitive.
He did say recently he feels very young.
Overly sensitive.
He's a young, vibrant man.
That's because he's on dope. That's my opinion.
Do you really think so?
Do you mean in the context of the satire of the show or in real life?
Well, there are people who... I mean, I don't...
Yes and yes.
Really? You do?
It's just my opinion.
When you say
I don't
dope...
want to get sued.
What do you mean?
Dope. That's dope, man.
You mean... Oh, well, that's what the young people say now, I think.
You need a very You mean back in 1988?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to ask Ben Dion. He's a school teacher.
You still jiggy with it, man?
I'm trying to, keep up with the young lingo, so I sound like a hep cat and not some jive turkey.
What you need is a door that's broadly open. So you just say dope. You don't see methamphetamine or...
Is that what you mean?
This or that.
Is that what you mean, though? No, because...
No, I said dope. He's on dope. Dope could be anything. It could be good, bad. It's like the word nonplussed, right? What the hell does anybody mean? It could mean nonplussed or it could not mean it.
I think it's the opposite of non-minus.
Oh. Well, yeah, that actually was funny for about 5 seconds.
I know,
5/10 of a second.
I know, right?
And then it wasn't.
Right, yes. Well, everything has a shelf life.
I used to know what the word plussed meant. But now I can't.
No.
Isn't that terrible getting old?
Do you think some people
it sucks getting old.
Claim that there's some Adderall.
I was thinking Ritalin.
Or actually, I've heard that too.
Well, that's an amphetamine, isn't it?
Ritalin is used for kids who are hyperactive.
but they're amphetamines.
Yeah, I'm no expert on this.
I'm not either.
Because some people think that's why he sniffs and then denies that he's
was
sniffing.
The cocaine.
No, he's not. No. Howard Dean said that after one of those debates where
Cocaine
Trump was sniffing a lot. I just figured he had a cold.
He's a real pick-me-up, and he's got the good connections.
Yeah, but Trump doesn't do anything. He's straight edge.
Oh, but bull.
You don't believe that?
No.
Really? You really don't?
He lies about everything,
That's actually one of the few things I do believe him on. I actually do believe him.
He lies about everything.
I'm just saying, I can honestly say I never had a beer in my life. Okay. Well, I've never had alcohol. It's one of my only good traits. I don't drink.
One of his only good traits? He was very honest there.
What is he, a sissy?
No, he's talked about it before.
I said that deliberately. It was a feed line. You're supposed to smack me down now.
That's true, because you're not supposed to say that word anymore. It's considered a slur now.
It's very 60s-ish, you know?
Right.
What is he, a panty waist, lightweight?
I don't think you're supposed to. I don't think you can say any of those things anymore.
What was it that
You
George
can't say
Wallace
pansy.
used to call liberals? I can't remember. It was a good one. It wasn't panty waist.
Birmingham, they love the governor.
Yeah, that was considered down south a pro-segregation song. But then they became big and they had to pretend it wasn't.
Right.
Well, young will remember. What was he said? I have to look it up.
Well, you can look it up.
My memory's failing, now that I'm almost 60 years old. I used to know it. It wasn't funny, but it was, George Wallace is the paradigmatic politician of the last third of the 20th century. And Donald Trump is of the George Wallace school. It is.
No,
it's plain speaking.
I laugh knowingly. I understand.
Wallace
what you
wasn't
mean.
Personally, when you read about him, out and out racist like so many of the people down the south of his time.
And he tried to
But
redeem
he said
himself.
when he got defeated first time at Alabama, he used the N-word allegedly, saying I won't be out again.
Yeah.
And after he came back to power, like in the 70s, he was very, he did a lot in the terms of the time to help African Americans.
Do you think he was sincere, or was he just someone getting older and trying to stay out of hell?
I think after he got shot, it changed.
You think that changed him? You think?
Yeah, because he was
legitimately changed him.
He became a disabled person.
Yeah, it's true. He was in a wheelchair. Yeah,
driven like mad back in the old days.
Mm.
He had Lurleen, his wife, who had cancer, because a lot of the southern states, because they had a populist type of democracy, limited a governor to one term, because a lot of the power was in the legislature.
Yeah,
but just like Texas, which is slightly different. But he had his wife run, and that clearly shortened her life, so he could retain power. But he ran for president 64, a token against segregation. But in 68, until Ross Perot ran, he was the biggest third-party candidate since probably the Civil War. He racked up a great deal of votes.
Wow.
And in 72, when he was shot, he was doing great in the Democratic primaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, because he really spoke to white people in cities that had a great deal of anxiety, Hoppy said, trying to keep everything neutral.
Speaking
about
very
race relations.
euphemistically.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, because, the language you'd use would be so loaded either way.
Right.
If you go one way, you're being light on racism. And if you go the other way,
But so after, so when he kind of changed, were people receptive to it? Did people buy it?
Like George has changed. My father lived in Georgia. My father also lived in Alabama.
No, but I mean him as an individual. Did people buy that he truly had changed, or was there some cynicism about it?
We're in the context of the generation he was in.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about the people born in what was he born, like 1914 or something? Look what happened to the South. They had the generation, the 70s, where people like Bill Clinton and Al Gore Jr. were moderates. They'd be flaming liberals for the South.
Right.
And the South realigned to the Republican Party after Ronald Reagan. And what I always saw was a rather open appeal to racism, which in the context of that time But nowadays, Ronald Reagan would be a flaming liberal.
Well, when did the Southern strategy come into play?
The Southern
Was that
strategy
Reagan?
comes from 1968.
Oh, okay.
But it was 72 election. It was Nixon. Nixon went to Georgia in 1960 when he had when him and Kennedy were running, and he was greeted very warmly in Atlanta. He had African Americans in the South were Republican because of the Democratic Party of the South was so.
The Dixiecrats.
Yeah, they're Dixiecrats, which we could call them that. Racist, and most couldn't vote. So Martin Luther King's father, who they called Daddy King, he'd be Martin Luther King Sr., had endorsed Nixon because Eisenhower was very committed to African-American civil rights, which was traditionally a Republican franchise, except in the big cities because it changed with FDR.
Yeah.
But that was the big cities. And he went to Georgia and had a very warm welcome, and he thought he could win Georgia. And now Eisenhower didn't like that because Eisenhower was behind the 1958 and 1960 Civil Rights Acts. They were very weak acts, but they were the first acts since like 1877 or 1875, or could be 4. Oh, Jesus. I used to remember all that, like baseball statistics.
Right.
But it's the first since Reconstruction, and the master of the Senate, Lyndon Johnson, helped get them through. They were very watered down compared to the revolution that the 1964 Civil Rights Act was. He thought he could win in Georgia. And then Martin Luther King, I think in October, got arrested because, from his activism. And the police were running around various jails so they couldn't serve a writ of habeas corpus, which means deliver the body.
Right.
So he was in danger. And Coretta King, Martin Luther King Jr.'s wife, put a call through to Nixon, and he didn't take it. Eisenhower,
right.
I got to remember this is a long time.
Yeah.
Eisenhower would have taken that call, and would have acted. So she called John Kennedy, and he became involved.
Yeah.
Daddy King changed his endorsement, but the thing was, when the final vote in 1960 was taken, only one state went for Kennedy more than Georgia. I mean, JFK won a huge victory.
Yeah.
And that was Rhode Island, which is the most Catholic state of all.
Yep.
So 64, but you have to understand the 1960 election, states like Alabama, I know that specifically, Mississippi might have had the same thing, ran a slate of electors that wasn't pledged to JFK. And there was a JFK electors because the vagaries of the Electoral College. Nobody knows exactly how many votes JFK's won in Alabama or how many delegates. It was a real mishmash, and it's been forgotten in history, but it was important to subsequent history. So that was a much closer election than the stuff you generally read about the corruption in Chicago, and then New Mexico, the Republicans had pulled some shenanigans.
Hey, refresh my memory on a detail here, because this is something I can't remember. What was Nixon's reason for not taking the call from
He thought he
Scott
could win
King?
in Georgia because he had a very big, rapturous turnout in Atlanta. So he thought that by not embracing the traditional Negro, which was franchise then, with a capital N, because William Loeb, the Union leader, always was criticized for putting Negro with a small N.
Yeah.
Then it became Afro-Black, Afro-American.
Right,
But he thought he could win Georgia. He thought he could win the votes of the reaction against the civil rights.
Okay, so he
thought he could get rid of,
So his calculation,
abandon the Negroes.
his calculation was he was better off not taking the call than taking the call.
Right,
and he
which
gambled wrong.
Eisenhower and him had their problems. I guess that was one of them.
Yeah.
But so then you have 64, which was a landslide for LBJ, and just crushed Barry Goldwater. But just like a minority opinion in a Supreme Court by a great justice, he comes back a Goldwaterism becomes Reaganism.
Yeah.
But 68, another close election. In the 68 election, George Wallace, I think he won 28 electoral college votes. But nobody knew until Election Day what was going to happen.
Yeah.
They didn't know how many he was going to win, but they figured he was going to win the South. because you had the Dixiecrats ran third party like Strom Thurmond in 48, but it didn't stop Harry Truman, who desegregated the army and had tried to liberalize civil rights. So you had the Dixiecrats. 64, Strom Thurmond, former governor of South Carolina, and senator, was a Democrat. He was the first to become a Republican.
Yeah.
Because when I used to go to the South in the 70s, they still hated the Republicans as the party of Lincoln.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's changed so radically.
I can't think of Strom Thurmond without thinking
Strom
of Trent
Thurmond,
Lott.
who had
That's why I was laughing.
Had an illegitimate African-American daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's complex down south.
So, but
68, this is what happened. The electors for Wallace approached Nixon saying, everybody thought it was going to be so close. It would be a hung election and you have to go into the House of Representatives, which only happened, I think, in 1800. There's been other elections like 1876 and I like
some people thought it was going to happen in 92 because of Perot,
right.
But of course.
Oh, yeah, they thought it would go into the House,
Yeah.
which would vote, and then the Senate votes would beat.
Which would be fascinating to see.
Yeah, and it's part of the Constitution and
Yeah.
democracy.
Yeah.
But they went to him and said, we'll trade you the votes in return that you give us a pledge not to enforce civil rights legislation. He wouldn't do it. So, this isn't...
Yeah.
I was saying to an old Paul last night, only Trump could make Nixon look better. He did have some principles. It was pragmatic with him.
Yeah.
But I don't think Nixon ever was a racist personally, because I know an African-American who worked in his White House and had a great deal of respect for him.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I don't think it was personal. It was just the pragmatic. The calculations were with this jackass that was born 73 years ago. He just, like a actor unhinged,
I
just
know.
throws himself into the role.
Yeah.
But
that's what the MAGA people love.
So... But then Nixon won 300, I think, Electoral College votes. So that got, they wrote an amendment, Birch Bayh, who I supported in 1976 when I was just a teenager, with Heidi Hamer's husband, by the way. We used to go knock on doors for him. I was impressed because he wrote three constitutional amendments, the one 25th, and I think which is about the cabinet and presidential disability.
Is he Evan Bayh's father? Is that the same
Yes.
family? Okay,
and
I thought
the the Equal Rights Amendment, which failed.
Yeah.
But he wrote this one too, that there's going to be direct election of the president, because 60 was nobody really knew. But see, that's lost to history now. Nobody knew who had the most votes. It was a muddle.
Yeah.
And then the 68 horse trading really. So that passed with, I think it was a tremendous majority in the House of Representatives, but it was well over 3/5.
It was, no kidding.
It was a credible amount, but it got bottled up by the Democrats, like Sam Ervin, and it controlled the Senate.
I didn't realize that had ever gotten that far
it
to
passed
try to do that.
overwhelmingly the House.
That's amazing.
But it was bottled up.
Wow.
And that would have saved us a lot of BS.
I'll be damned.
Changed politics completely.
No, I had a question about Strom Thurmond, though. What year did he switch? To
64. So around the Goldwater. And the next Republican senator from the South, who wasn't an African-American in the Reconstruction era, was John Tower of Texas.
But when Strom Thurmond switched, was that the beginning of kind of the big flip-flop that we see now when we look back?
It wasn't until Reagan.
Really?
Wasn't until Reagan. I'm sure there were other Republicans down there from the South, but he exorcised the ghost of Lincoln from the party. It's not the party of Lincoln anymore.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. But you say not until Reagan did the two parties kind of switch places on that?
Well, the Solid South, which always had such incredible power as it does now, like Mitch McConnell. Kentucky's a border state, but they had segregation.
Yeah.
I mean, the North had it too, but not not the Jim Crow.
Right.
They just redline you and not give you a job and treat you like an animal.
What is redlining
like
for people who don't know? What is redlining?
Redlining is when you have a map. Literally, you put a red line that you will not give loans, like mortgages, to people that live like in Southie, but there was a part of Boston, Roxbury,
black neighborhoods,
poor neighborhoods, but black,
but black, yeah.
That's what when you think about redlining, it's generally that. And there were laws passed to stop that, but that's a whole story in itself. Because like Ron Brown, that's who was the Secretary of Commerce under Clinton. He
he's the one who went down in the plane crash.
Right.
Yeah.
He had a bank, I believe, but this is just memory, that was supposed to be, or he had financing that was supposed to countermand redlining. They did it themselves, because it wasn't profitable. But people, no matter what you think ideologically, politicians are crooks. They're all crazy in some ways. But, we've lived in the most interesting time since, probably the Civil War, when you count like World War II.
I say that all the time.
And that we have a genuine loon as president.
Time. Yeah.
And
I think it's bad for the country, but it's great for my show.
If
I may be so selfish.
Oh, yeah, we used to talk about that, but it's just unbelievable. I mean, anything that they say about having an outsider, this guy is just... what people don't understand... there was a great song by David Bowie, Young American, which came out in 1974. Yeah. And do you remember your President Nixon, who had just been resigned?
Yeah.
Do you remember the bills you have to pay from even yesterday? This is all going to come due. They pushed off the recession that would have come this year by him. He has the ability. He buffaloed the Fed.
Mm-hmm.
And so he puts the recession off to when it comes, it's going to be massive and really F-wording up everything. But because there was always a consensus post-war, you don't interfere politically with the economy. Because George H.W. Bush, I remember reading that in the New York Times and other, he could have done things to make sure that recession we were going through would have been, he could have ended it quicker, but then there would have been another recession that came, and he wouldn't do that because he was part of the Eastern establishment.
Yeah.
He was part of the Eastern establishment, and the consensus that existed, it's been wiped out.
Yeah. Well, also, too, at that time, economists did kind of figure out that, George H.W. Bush's instinct to not tamper was probably perfectly fine because the economy had started recovering. Because obviously we don't know.
Right, but we don't know. We don't know the information.
We don't know in real time what's happening. Yeah.
But see, it's the difference between being on the inside and being an expert and what the public perceives.
Right.
And what the media is going to go with. There's an old maxim, nothing exists politically unless an event can happen, and unless the media, and not just one part of the media, because the Washington Post was reporting Watergate before anybody really picked up on it, and they were going, and then the New York Times finally did, and others, but until it starts snowballing, and then you have a political reality. Reality is socially defined. But racism is American pie. It's in our Constitution. All other people, 3/5. Hey, Wes Studi, just read. Maybe I'm too late. He was an Native American actor, which you've seen in many movies like Dances with Wolves. They're giving him an honorary Oscar.
Oh.
The first Native American to get an Oscar. And
no kidding.
He's the second Native American other than like Satchine Littlefeather, who was Brando sent to pick up his Oscar to even host an Oscar show, the other one being Will Rogers. But I just think it's amazing because we can talk about racism, but let's think about Native Americans who were... I always say when you think about Native Americans and African Americans, it's a horse race where they photo finish. But I would put the Native American just slightly winning because they didn't even have standing in court. They weren't even U.S. citizens. And your good friend, the hero, John McCain, and his allies were still bamboozling Native Americans in Arizona.
Judy Birchfield is in the Facebook live chat. Hello, Judy. And Heidi Hamer says, good afternoon, Matt. Tell John Hopwood they were all at the pride flag raising today, and we spoke to him. Oh, we were all at the...
You didn't speak to me.
And Eric Gagnon fist pumped all of us. I think she means fist bump. Wearing his Creamland T-shirt.
I thought he was wearing a...
John's going senile.
I never saw Heidi there.
She claims she was there and she spoke to you and you don't remember. Are you okay?
When did you ever say, what did she say to me? I was filming the Rising.
Oh, weird.
I think she's on dope.
Maybe
dope
she's...
being a very
broad
category.
Yes.
It's a door onto everything. Well, we can say God is dope.
Right.
We can say Jesus is dope
Well,
in many ways.
Isn't that
all the endorphins flying?
Well, I think that was mentioned in the Rappin' for Jesus song that I played.
Well, that's blasphemy.
That is blasphemy, yes.
I, being a font of religious knowledge, I am not blasphemous.
It's like that song, White Punks on Dope, but Jesus wasn't white.
There was a great punk band, Teenage Jesus and the Jerks.
Oh, really?
Around 1980.
Oh.
I think, what's her name came out of it? Nina... I can't remember her name.
Fred Bonig says it was always a North-South thing. Nearly the whole South voted against equal rights. Nearly the full North voted for it.
But that's not true about the North.
No?
That's ridiculous. That's not true.
Are you challenging? Are you guys going to fight? I like it when you guys fight. It's good radio.
Well, where does he get this knowledge? I remember LBJ had the strong arm Jerry Ford. Jerry Ford was the minority leader in the House over the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and he had to shame him because at the time you could shame him because he still tried to, being from Michigan, tried to use the that they were still friendly towards African Americans. Now, the Rockefeller family was very dedicated to the African American community. They used to finance a lot of the traditional black colleges in the South.
Fred says vote count. That's how he knows.
Vote count of what?
I assume he means he counted the votes. He looked up the vote totals.
Does he know about Claire Engel?
I don't know. He can hear you.
Does he?
I don't know. Do you, Fred? Who's that? Clara Engel?
Claire Engel was dying of a brain tumor. He was the senator from California. They brought him out to get the vote on cloture.
Oh.
And he had to point to his eye for I vote.
Oh. Hello. Welcome to Matt Connerton Unleashed. Who's this?
Oh, it's the Honorable Heidi Hamer calling from the lovely west side of Manchester.
Well, hello, Honorable Heidi Hamer. How are you?
Yes, wonderful. I did speak with John.
And what did you say? What did you say?
Huh?
He was filming.
And what did you say to me?
I don't know what else to say, but we were there. We had the dog.
I was looking for you and Elizabeth Ropp, who was supposed to meet me at the flagpole. I think she's missing.
Jeffrey was there.
You didn't kidnap
Rosie
Elizabeth,
was there.
did you?
I was there.
I think I would have noticed Jeff.
Huh.
Well, look at some pictures. You'll see Jeff.
Yeah, but you got pictures of you talking to me? Did you just say something to me while I was filming?
I was holding the dog. I couldn't. It was very hard to film or take pictures holding the dog.
Were you the person in back with the camera? No, that was another
Did you hear
person.
Rosie talking?
No, I don't speak canine. It's amazing that Matt, I can understand him, but he does have the vocoder,
Yeah, that's very funny.
Rosie was speaking with another little puppy.
Is it possible that the two of you were in separate dimensions?
Different dimensions.
Maybe...
I was with Joyce Craig and Congressman Chris Pappas.
I mean,
I talked to them.
There is a multiverse theory.
You were right there underneath the tree.
So you were in back of me? Are you the one that came up and bumped me? I didn't look at you, right? Because I was filming. Oh, I didn't know that was you. I was ignoring you. I was hyper-focusing.
There may have been a tear in the space-time continuum.
No, I can hyper-focus when I want to.
Mm-hmm.
I can. Yeah. How else was I an editor? A copy editor?
Senile.
No, I just was filming the thing. That's what I was focusing on. You should have said... I didn't see you. You must have left really soon.
Wait, are you a movie director?
No, that's Ed Young, Jr. Edward Yauch. We banned him from the show.
I'm a movie director, you always used to say.
That was Ed. Who's Cena?
No, that was you.
I'm confused.
Sure I did. You need to cut her off because she's just babbling now. She's probably had a few beverages. And,
I think she's concerned about your mental health and your memory.
Who was it? Who was the guy? Who was the guy that they caught up in hooks at F-bombing everybody at the bar?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, he was a state senator.
We don't know what you're talking about, John.
Booten? Was this a while ago?
Yeah.
That Booten guy, Dave Booten?
I think Heidi probably stopped at a pre-happy hour.
Oh, so Heidi's drunk is what you're contending.
No, I just think she's dope.
Oh, well, that's a compliment.
And this is an even wider. This is an even wider door than the last one.
John says you're dope. That's actually a compliment. When the young people say that, that means something nice.
The young people of 1988.
Oh, I don't know. I think they say it now. Or, yo, that's dope.
There's
Or she's
Creamland.
dope.
I'm going to Creamland.
Is Gary going to play the clown when he gets back?
Play the clown? Is that a euphemism for something? What's going
He's
on
not
here?
coming back.
Who's going to mow the lawn?
Is that a euphemism for something?
Why didn't you stick around when we were talking to everybody? Mike Craig was there, the county attorney.
There was a huge traffic accident up by my house.
What does that have to do with being down at the flagpole?
That's a euphemism for something, isn't it?
Did you kidnap Liz Rupp? You're trying to keep her from running for alderman at Huge. Alderman at Huge.
At Huge.
It's huge.
I don't know, John. I think if you look back on your tape, you might see me on your tape.
How would I see you if you were back of me?
You were filming us.
I was filming.
The plot thickens.
Joyce Craig, Congressman Chris Pappas, and the two owners of Madeira. How were you? Did you suddenly throw yourself in there?
You said hello to Glenn R.J. Willett.
Yeah, he was talking to Chris Pappas, and then I talked to him again when he was over with Pat Long. Were you with Pat Long and Tim Baines?
No, I didn't go on that side of the street.
What side of the street were you on?
I was on the west side.
You mean you never left Ward 10? What do you have? What are you, Norm? That you have remote viewing capabilities? I'm expected to see somebody that is in Ward 10 that's remote viewing.
Okay. Oh, I've reached my destination.
I think that you ought to go on Norm's Community Corner. You've got some extraordinary powers that makes Ma look like a piker.
I've reached my destination.
All right, the
and it was Ed
Heidi
Young
Ingram.
that had the 8mm camera.
With John.
Understood.
I offered to mow your lawn, and you turned me down.
Best of luck.
Best
of luck, Matt.
All right, thanks, John. Thanks, Heidi.
I think somebody's had a few too many cocktails.
This mowing the lawn thing, it doesn't sound like... I feel like if I go on Urban Dictionary right now and look up mowing the lawn, I'll find something nefarious.
Yeah, but that's younger women.
Oh.
Yeah.
To mow the lawn? It's almost 5. Do you need to leave?
It isn't on 5. You want to run some type of songs, right?
Well, I'm going to take a break at the top of the hour, yeah.
Oh, we got 3 minutes.
But I'm just making sure.
What are you doing this weekend?
Oh, I don't know. The usual. I'll probably be in front of the computer working. Working.
Is Rob Azevedo going to be here at 5?
No, his show was recorded in advance.
But Peter said that he was going to be on live.
No. Peter said there was a new episode of Granite State of Mind. He never said live.
I'm being bamboozled. First by Elizabeth Ropp, now Heidi, and now you. You hairy
Why is
ape.
Oh, so I wanted to ask you, why is Ed Young banned from your show?
Well, he was very rude.
Was he?
Yeah, he was talking. We were trying to get him to talk about something. I say with the royal we, of course.
Yes.
And he pretended that people thought he was Jeff Bridges.
Oh.
Well, I can go park my car and come back, and we can explain that.
Well, if you'd like, I am rather curious.
I want to go for the happy hour that Heidi went to. She must have been on the helium bong or something.
Maybe. I don't know.
You know, I have ADHD, but I can hyperfocus. I have dyslexia, yet I could be a copy out of there. It's strange. I must have been just so focused on when I go in the camera. I pride myself on my camera work.
Yeah.
Just like a good mower. And with hockey, I was an excellent goalie. You know, I won't say I was a good stick man, but, you could say that, because if you can't handle that stick, what good are you as a goalie?
I suppose that's true.
Maybe that's why I never became a father. Enough sexual euphemisms.
Oh, is that what you were doing? I couldn't tell. All right.
Heidi, here I come. Hey, I got an interesting tale to tell in the next half hour. Have Fred Bonig call in so I can harass him, and he can harass me.
He can hear you. But, all right, so we're going to take a break.
What, is he a mind reader?
I know, right? So we're going to take a break, and we'll be back. This is Matt Connerton Unleashed. We're live on WMNH 95.3 FM in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Do you suffer from feelings of anxiety? Are you worried that you'll never be good enough? That you'll never measure up? Then this summer, you must have been invited to a beautiful gay wedding.
I'm getting invited to so many gay weddings. They're all going to be so perfect, and that stresses me out.
Well, don't worry, because now there's new Xanax for gay summer weddings. The only anti-anxiety medication that relieves the stress of attending a bunch of spectacular gay summer weddings.
I used to be worried that I wouldn't have the right thing to wear. But now I can enjoy everyone's immaculate pastel suits and forget the fact that I don't even own an iron.
Usually at weddings, I'm the best dancer there. But at gay summer weddings, everyone knows a choreographed dance to a Beyonce song that hasn't even been released yet. I can't stack up to that. That's why I use Xanax for gay summer weddings.
Because your gay friends have it all figured out, and you don't.
At my wedding, we gave guests Cheez-Its and a mini bottle of water. Keith and William gave us 2 tickets to Italy and $40,000. Plus, everything on their registry needs to be shipped from France. So I have to wait until no one's looking to put my gift down.
Barack Obama called to give them his personal congratulations. At my wedding, my grandmother called Obama the N-word in her toast.
So this summer, don't be overwhelmed by the most flawlessly executed wedding you've ever seen. With Xanax for gay summer weddings. Not necessary for lesbian summer weddings.
Yeah, I do. Me too.
In the homo rainbow, don't be afraid to let your colors shine. Many colors in the homo rainbow. Show me yours, I'm gonna show you mine. And if you find your pot of gold, then every little thing is gonna work out fine. In the homo rainbow. Many colors in the homo rainbow. Pick any shade from black to yellow. Many colors in the homo rainbow. A warm embrace and a kind of hello. And if you find your pot of gold, then every little thing is gonna work out fine. In the homo rainbow. Give me a little something here. And if you find your pot of gold, then every little thing is gonna work out fine. In the homo rainbow.
This is a talking blues song I wrote. Talking blues. It's many talking blues songs out there. I've even written a couple of them myself, but this is a newer one. This is something a lot of people have been talking about is wall building. So I thought I'd try this one out. I was feeling sad and small and scared. A national emergency had been declared. Took a dose of Fox News for my breakfast, headed down to southern Texas, aiming to defend my country against the impending immigrant threat. Well, I got there expecting the enemy. There's nothing but desert far as the eye could see. I was pounced on by an overweight man, had a shirt on that said, "Make America Great Again." He said, "Darn, I thought you was one of them illegals. Just about broke your neck." Well, he dusts me off and turns me loose, and a parade of people comes marching through. Looked like a band of civilian soldiers, had picks and trowels flung over their shoulders. I said, "Is that them? The immigrant threat?" Guy says, "No, that ain't them at all. Those are friends come to help build Trump's wall." I asked what he was talking about. He said that's Trump's plan to keep the immigrants out. Gonna build a wall. Big one. Huge. He says, "I was born in these here USA, and that's more than them immigrants can say. Even though my ancestors got here on a boat, robbed and pillaged the native folks, enslaved the Africans, still been calling this land mine long enough to believe it's so." Says, "We'll build our boundary thick and strong. It'll be 500,000 miles long, just like the Great Wall of China or of old Berlin. It'll keep the foreigners out. It'll keep us safe within. Kinda like a prison. Prison for our freedom. The stories we tell about it." Well, I was beginning to see what kind of plan this was when he said, "We need this here wall because them invaders is coming onto our private land, smuggling drugs and people and contraband, stealing our jobs, worst of all." Well, we climbed this hill, peeped the horizon. There's a bunch of people there building something. He said, "Someday barbed wire, brick and mortar's all there'll be at the U.S.-Mexico border." I could feel that fake news beginning to wear off. New nightmare beginning. Well, we got to a pen, made a chain-link fence. Inside was 100 or so of them immigrants. They looked like kids, emaciated. They'd been took from their parents, incarcerated, probably orphaned by now. Well, I asked one of them why I decided to cross. He rolled his eyes, shook his head, coughed, said, "Before I answer, let me ask you one. If it were leave or die, which would you have done?" I said, "I guess I probably would have left." He didn't say nothing after that. Well, Trump doesn't want foreigners coming across, and a few billion tax-paying dollars is all it'll cost. When the proposal to Congress went around, they said no, so he shut the government down. And you want to talk about stealing work from hard-working Americans. Well, you go far enough back on that family tree, you'll see Trump had ancestors over in Germany, came and settled in the American nation in a process that was known then, still is, as immigration. Hung around for a while, helped establish the experiment that's become known as American hypocrisy. Well, Humpty Trumpty can build his wall. The higher he builds it, the harder he'll fall. The king's horses and all the king's men won't be electing that guy again. They'll know better. God, at least I hope they will. Thank you.
Our planet's getting hotter from polluted air and water, and the weather's getting hotter, so our situation's fraughter. Since deniers stall with faulty ideology, it may be wise to revise our terminology. Global weirding, that's the word, as the climate gets more absurd. Hurricanes, heat waves, major drought. Global weirding is what that's all about. Even second graders know you don't prove anything by showing snow. Earth is getting warmer, no ifs or buts. Weather's not climate, you idiots. Oh, oh, oh. Global weirding, that's the term. The facts fake, conservatives swerve and squirm. Strange tornadoes, rising seas. Global weirding is causing all of these. Climate change deniers obviously don't realize we've got no planet B. The consensus of scientists, they still buck, till even Bill Nye said, what the fuck? Global weirding, that's the phrase, to spell it out for doubters nowadays. Floods and fires, crazy storms, global weirding as the planet warms. Global weirding, that's the word, and denying it is absurd. Hurricanes, heat waves, major drought. Global weirding is here, no doubt. Global weirding makes me wanna shout. Global weirding should freak you out. Global weirding is here, no doubt. Global weirding makes me wanna shout. Global
Welcome back, everybody. We are well in hour number 2. Matt Connerton Unleashed. We're live on WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, and on Comcast 97 in Manchester, streaming at WMNHradio.org, and on Facebook via Facebook Live on the Matt Connerton Unleashed Facebook page. And Mr. Hopwood has returned.
Howdy.
And we have with us here in the studio, I'm stumbling on my words a little bit because I'm...
Is that Gene Simmons?
I need a sip of water. Yes, that is. That's Gene Simmons of Kiss, yes. And we have a call. Wow, Gene Simmons of Kiss is here, and we have a call.
Good afternoon, fan.
Hi, welcome to Matt Connerton Unleashed. Who's this?
This is Fred.
Fred Bonig from the Daily Ripple.
Yes, hold on. I'm going to have to get back. I got to hold you in my hand.
Oh,
All right.
Christ.
There I am.
There we go. Now I can hear you. What's up, Fred?
You're very... I can hardly hear you, and I'm speaking to everything else.
Really?
Let me call you back.
Okay.
Because it may be a bad connection.
All right, Fred.
Thanks, Fred.
All right, Fred Bonig calling us here on Rockline to talk to Gene Simmons of Kiss. Remember Rockline?
I do remember. I was on it many, many times.
You were on there many times, Gene Simmons of Kiss.
I was.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. John Hopwood, do you remember Rockline?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The great Bob Coburn? Bob Coburn died a couple years ago.
Rest his soul.
How do you spell his
He's
name?
buried in a Kiss coffin.
Yes.
Was this a national radio show?
Hey, Fred.
Hello, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's pretty low. I don't know. It's my car. I'm in the car. That's why it was taking me so long to fact check myself for John.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's hard to do and drive.
Yes, it is. Yes.
I hope your hand's free.
And folks, just remember, put your seatbelts on, no texting, and give the guy in front of you a break.
Are you hands free?
Am I what?
Hands free.
Yes, I am hands free now.
Good.
I'm hands free.
Could you turn your radio
one's on
down?
the wheel,
please?
one's on the phone. So anyway, what I was going to point out was that the North, the voting on the Civil Rights Act was the Democrats and the Republicans in the North voted for it. And, the Democrats and the Republicans in the South voted against it.
How many
And
Republicans
I
were
sent
there
you
in the
documentation
South?
on it. And in reality, more Democrats voted for it than against it.
Okay.
By the North, you're
Than
meaning
the
California, the
There were more
Midwest.
Democrats in Congress.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Thoroughly agree.
All right. So, John, do you?
That
No,
was
it's
the
just
point
when you
that
talk
John
about
said
North
that.
South, like California's not the North. Oh, I guess it was part of the Union back in 1861 to 65.
Right.
No.
Well, it's not part of
Well,
the South
well,
either.
That was the point that I was making. Was it's always been this kind of North and South thing.
Right.
It's not been Democrat or Republican.
Right.
Because they all voted for it against it in the South.
Yeah, the old Confederates, the rebel states.
Right, right. Yeah.
Correct.
Except for a few.
But I'm having a hard time hearing you, so I'm sorry. I got to let you go.
All right, Fred. No problem.
Have a great day.
All right. Take care, my friend.
We have much more important
Bye-bye.
things to talk
Take care.
about. Are you still feeling pissy, Gene Simmons?
I'm not in a pissy mood.
Oh, that's good.
Doing well today.
Wow, that's wonderful.
No more lady troubles.
Well, I've been making lots of royalty money lately.
Lately?
Yes. Well, more than usual, I should say.
Oh, I'm just amazed that you're able to come in here so often, what with being in the throes of your end of the road tour. And you're currently in Europe touring. Did you take the red eye? Is that what it's called?
I have my own private jet, as you know, Matt. You've been in
yes.
it a couple of times.
Well, that is true. Yes.
And I just stopped by this afternoon for one particular reason here in Manchester.
Oh.
I stopped by the great Bill's Donuts.
Oh, you did?
Yes. I christened my new flavor there that they have.
You have a new flavor there?
Yes,
Oh.
yes. They have the Kiss Crepe there at Bill's Donuts.
Very nice.
And it's fantastic because every time you take a bite of the Kiss Crepe, Gene Simmons of Kiss gets 48 cents.
Wow.
Yes.
That is amazing. Good for you, Gene
That's
Simmons of Kiss.
right.
And I assume crepe is spelled with a K.
That's
K,
correct.
K, K?
And it's spelled with the
Kiss.
font, the Kiss font.
Yes.
Sorry.
Wow.
I was back with Fred in the Deep South in 1964.
And when you actually go to Bill's Donuts at the corner of Elm and Varney Street here in Manchester,
yes,
you will see a big poster of the Kiss Crepe in the window.
Wow.
And it's spelt with the Kiss font.
That's amazing.
That's right.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm not surprised you would enter into a licensing agreement with Bill's Donuts. You are known to have a bit of a sweet tooth, Gene Simmons of Kiss.
That's correct.
Yes.
And we're actually thinking of plans, me and the mayor of Manchester,
Yeah.
to rename Creamland
Kiss?
Creamland with a K.
Oh, rename it with a K.
That's right.
That's wonderful. I thought you were going to say
Kissland.
Maybe Kissland. Yeah.
No.
Simmonsland?
It's going to be. We're not going to break tradition here in the Queen City.
Right.
We're going to keep it Creamland, but
Wow.
it'll be with a K.
Wow. Now, will you, once you rename it, will you be retaining all of the employees there, or will some people have to go?
No, we will retain all the employees, including Easy G.
Okay.
But we are going to be renaming him to Easy K.
Oh,
There
all
you
right.
go.
Easy K. Yes. Wow.
Kind of like Special K.
Easy Gene.
Wow. Easy Gene.
The entrepreneurial genius of Gene Simmons is just overwhelming.
Trust me.
It truly is.
How do you deal with the burdens of having $300 million, according to Money Magazine?
It's a piece of cake. It's cash.
With a K?
It's cash with a K.
And a cake with a K.
That's correct.
That's fantastic. Now, will there be bathrooms installed once it becomes once Creamland becomes Creamland?
I gave it some thought, and I decided there will be bathrooms there. Because
Good.
there has to be some place for me to apply my makeup.
That's true.
With a flush toilet?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Fancy.
Why wouldn't I have a flush toilet?
Yeah.
Well, with your checkered past with groupies, maybe it might not be such a good idea.
No, I'll have a back office there, Hopper.
Oh.
Good.
I'd like to shout out to Mr. Rob Azevedo, too.
Would you like to shout it out loud?
Sure.
Oh, good. All right.
A shout out loud to Rob Azevedo.
Yes.
Bumped into him last night.
Oh, you did?
Yes, Rob and I go way back.
Now, did he recognize you without your makeup?
He did. We've known each other since childhood, Rob Azevedo and I.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Why aren't you mentioned in his book, Gene Simmons of Kiss?
I think there might be a reason for that. A lot of people don't know this. I was actually the ghostwriter for Rob Azevedo's book.
You ghost-wrote his book?
I ghostwrote his
Wow.
book. And every time a page is turned in his book, Gene Simmons of Kiss, 89 cents.
Wow, that's
correct.
amazing. Well, I'm going to have you. I actually have my copy with me. I'm going to have you autograph it.
I will be happy.
I
to.
really do have it.
What is a breath farm?
A breath farm?
Yes. What is a breath farm? Did you come up with that term?
I did not. All I did was ghostwrite the book.
Oh.
Rob told me what to write.
I'm a little concerned. Here, let me.
Rob wrote the title. I wrote everything else.
Now, the only problem is Gene Simmons of Kiss. If you'll notice, and I'm holding it up for the camera for those watching online, Rob basically took up that entire page autographing the book.
He's got some ego.
He didn't leave any room for you.
That's okay.
And he knows you're here, popping in from your tour every couple of weeks, and yet he took up that whole page.
Well, I wrote the whole rest of the book. So
yes.
What does it
have
say?
the whole page.
What does it say?
Yeah.
It says, Matt, always stay unleashed. You do such a great job. Rob Az.
You do such a great job doing what?
Staying unleashed.
Breath farming?
What?
Breath farming?
Breath farming? What does that mean?
I asked Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Oh, that's
What is
true.
a breath farm?
No idea.
What is a breath farm? Yeti?
I don't remember.
The Last Breath Farm.
I forget that's from a song lyric, but I forget what it is.
Must have been sung.
Why don't you Google it?
But
Mr. Hopper?
yes,
Yeah, give me something to do.
he did explain it in our extensive. He didn't mention you in our interview either.
Well, I'm a
Gene Simmons of Kiss.
ghostwriter. You're not supposed to mention the ghostwriter.
Right. Well, that's
the
true.
ghostwriter is never mentioned.
That's a good
The
point.
author is the one who's supposed to get all the credit.
That is true. That is
So
true.
That is why I'm not mentioned anywhere in the book.
Right.
And that is why I'm here on this radio show today announcing it.
But it would appear to me that if you're a ghostwriter, you're also not supposed to tell the world that you're the ghostwriter.
I'm not telling the world. I'm only telling the Queen City of Manchester, New Hampshire, on Manchester's only downtown radio station.
But you do realize, well, first of all, there's some dispute over, I don't know. We have this guy who comes on the show. His name's Paul Cormier.
Great guy.
Yes, but Paul, he hears people talking about this being Manchester's only downtown radio station.
Doesn't Rob Azevedo call it that?
Yes, and Paul Cormier has to be a big killjoy and say, no, it's not.
Why?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
How could it possibly not? Does Elm Street, the only street that exists in downtown Manchester,
Exactly.
have the only radio station?
Yes, clearly.
Well, in that case, if Elm Street is considered the only street in downtown Manchester, then yes, I guess that's true. Then
Yes.
this is the only radio station in downtown Manchester.
Exactly. Yes.
That's what I hear.
That's right.
Right.
It comes from a Warren Zevon song.
Oh, yes.
Detox Mansion.
That's right.
Well, there you go. I mean, well, there you go.
Have you ever been detoxed, Gene Simmons of Kiss?
I never have had to.
Have you ever had a beer?
I've never drank a drop of alcohol in my life, except for once when I had post-nasal drip. I took some NyQuil one night.
That's probably why you get along so well with the president.
I'm
The
just
red
saying,
NyQuil.
I can honestly say I never had a beer in my life, okay? Well, I've never had alcohol.
So there you go.
Was that me or was that President?
That was President Trump.
The first magistrate of the republic.
Jenny in the Facebook live chat says, well, the world knows now the shows air on all kinds of platforms. Blah, ha, 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 ha.
I don't get it.
Well, the show, you can get it on all the podcasting platforms.
She's absolutely right.
And it airs online. And like our friend Fred, he's from Pennsylvania. Now everyone in Pennsylvania is going to know.
That's correct.
Yes.
Good point, Jenny.
I think you knew it all along.
Jenny's
Gene
one of my
Simmons
biggest
Kiss.
fans.
Oh, is she?
She is.
Oh, well.
She is.
Yeah, well, not as big as me.
No.
I've seen you in concert like 30 times.
That's correct. You have.
Yes.
You have.
Not as big as my friend Dan Randlett. He's seen you like 100 times,
That's
probably.
correct. That's correct.
Yes.
In fact, I think Dan still has a photo of myself and he on Facebook.
Wow.
Yes. Did you ever see that photo?
I don't think I have.
It's quite hysterical because Dan is standing right next to me and I'm about 5 foot taller than he is.
Yes.
It's very funny.
Well, you have the platform boots on. Oh, I know
Well-
the picture you mean because it's with the whole band, right?
No, it's just he and I.
Oh, it's just he and you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know the picture then.
Yeah, it's just he and I.
And
from
you're
what
in,
I remember.
And you're in.
I'm in full regalia.
It's amazing that you can remember. Do you remember pictures of you with all your fans?
In fact, I think I remember commenting something about how he should have brought a stack of phone books for that photo.
Right. Did he come up to your belly button? Or
He came up to my right nipple.
Ah, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's only because his hair was spiked that night.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Yeah. He did the hair spiking.
Right.
Yeah. What year was that, Gene Simmons of Kiss?
I believe that was probably 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
Could have been less. 3 or 4. 3 or 4.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, I can't expect you to remember everything about it.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
So here the homeless situation is curving here in Manchester. I heard the great Jim O'Connell on TV the other night.
Oh, wow.
Discussing how it's drastically been reduced.
Wow.
And he's right. I only bumped into about 40 today instead of the typical 48.
Well, the last time you were here, you ran over a homeless individual.
It's
if I
only
remember
because
correctly.
they were in the way.
Right. In the way of Gene Simmons of Kiss.
I was triple parked. My limo was quite large that day. I had the Escalade.
Yes.
Right.
And you're a terrible driver.
I'm a terrible driver, and I was triple parked.
Yes.
Right.
Wow.
I had a show to get to.
You had this show to get to, right?
That's what I meant.
You popped in here that day.
Who
yes.
would miss the show?
Well, that's a great point, Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Especially when you're on tour.
Right.
That's correct.
Right. You know, you got to make the rounds when you got a big tour. You got to go on Eddie Trunk,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to go on Matt Connerton Unleashed.
Who's Eddie Trunk?
Eddie Trunk.
Eddie Trunk.
Trunk.
The president.
Yes. No, that's Eddie. That's Donald Trump.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, Eddie Trunk. He's a big radio guy. He's on satellite radio, and he's everywhere. Eddie Trunk.
We're
he's
good
a big
friends.
guy.
We go way back, me and Eddie.
Actually, no, you guys don't speak anymore.
Oh, we are not friends anymore?
Well, he had a bit of a falling out with your partner, Paul. And here's the thing, Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Yes.
From what I understand, the way Eddie Trunk tells it, the last time you and he saw each other, you told him that you had no problem with him. But apparently, Mr. Stanley has a big problem with Eddie Trunk. And so you're not allowed to go on Eddie Trunk's show either because Paul Stanley actually runs the Kiss.
I see.
Yeah.
Does he have $300 million also?
No, he has close to it though.
Why
do you have more?
I doubt that.
Why do you have more money than Paul Stanley?
Because I know how to save and invest.
Oh, okay.
Paul Stanley is one of those...
Flibber to gibbets.
He's one of those spenders.
Spendthrift.
Right. He likes to go out and spend that money.
Elton John was like that. He ran through like $30 million in several years.
He spends it on whores.
I don't think that's true.
Whores and
Elton
liquor.
John?
Does he? So I'm looking at CelebrityNetWorth.com.
Yes.
So you have $300 million. Let's see what.
That's what they're reporting.
What Paul has.
I have $300 million in my front pocket right now.
Right. Yes. So Paul Stanley has $150 million. So he has half your money,
That's correct.
according to Celebrity Net Worth.
That is absolutely correct.
Yes.
But he has twice my talent.
So why do you keep touring with
You
all
do
that
the math.
loot?
Oh, this says you have $350 million.
Well,
While you were sitting here,
I
your
actually just made $50 million.
net worth
Wow.
went up
Wow.
by a 6.
Good for you, Gene Simmons of Kiss.
That's correct.
Let's see. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Ace Frehley.
Check it again. It'll say $400 million.
Ace Frehley only has $1 million. That guy.
Well, he doesn't own the band
Does it really
anymore.
say he only has $1 million?
Yes.
That said 4.5 25 minutes ago.
What about Peter Criss?
So you took some of his money in
No,
the
he
minutes that you've been sitting here.
he just went out and partied for a little while this afternoon. It is Friday.
Oh, okay. Peter Criss has $3 million. He has $2 million more than Ace Frehley.
Well, he is the cat man.
Yes, he is.
I don't
Meow.
know what that means, but
I don't either. Wow. Let's see. Bruce Kulick, my favorite guitarist from Kiss,
yes.
has $15 million.
Wow.
He's done well.
Yes.
He was there for the non-makeup era, but you guys paid him pretty well,
So
apparently.
Ace Frehley only has $1 million, huh?
Ace Frehley only has $1 million.
Well, Kiss owns the characters of Ace Frehley and of Peter Criss.
$1 million.
Well, that was very generous, considering that he's no longer technically,
in the band,
a band member. He's just an employee.
I dropped a deuce last night and wiped myself with $1 million.
Vinnie Vincent actually has $1 million. I can't believe Vinnie Vincent has that much money. That can't be accurate. I think he's broke.
Deuce.
Not that you would. I know. I can't believe you. I can't believe you would say that, Gene Simmons of Kiss. This is a very classy show here, and you come in and would you say that on Eddie Trunk?
These days, I would.
Oh. Would you say that on Howard Stern? Have you been on Howard Stern recently?
I haven't been on recently, no.
Oh.
Not since he's cleaned up his act.
Yes, he has.
Yes.
Well, plus there was that comedian, Craig Gass, who used to do that impression of you.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Craig who?
Craig Gass.
Oh, yes. Craig Gass.
Yes.
Craig Gass was a genius.
Yes. He used to do that impression. Oh, boy. Can you imagine that, Gene Simmons of Kiss, just trying to build a career out of just doing an impression of you?
Really?
Can
you imagine?
It's kind of hack, isn't it? I mean, come on, really.
To do an impression of Gene Simmons with Kiss?
Yes.
There are so many people out there that you could do an impression of.
I know, right?
And you're going to pick me?
Right.
Gene Simmons of Kiss?
Really, it's...
Well, you do have $350 million.
Yes.
Well, at least if you're going to do an impression of me, at least grab a guitar and start jamming. That's my talent. My voice isn't my talent. My guitar work is my talent.
That's not what Paul Stanley said. He said that although you could be replaced like any other Kiss member,
everybody's
your voice
replaceable.
is irreplaceable. Or is he just sticking a knife in?
Well, my voice might be irreplaceable, but I feel it's when I'm singing, my voice is irreplaceable.
Right.
And my brilliant songwriting is irreplaceable, as Matt can attest to.
Yes.
Right. But when I'm talking, I sound like a douche.
Except when you're in great movies like, was it Runaway?
Runaway, Wanted Dead or Alive.
Well, I guess we end the great movies with Runaway.
Cher was an ass. An idiot, by the way.
Who was Tom Selleck?
Cher.
Oh,
Cher. That almost slipped. I almost slipped there.
What movie was Sharon?
I don't know what movie she was in, but didn't I date her for a while?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, she was a jerk.
Wow. You dated Cher? Was
I
that
did.
after her 4-day marriage to Greg Allman?
No, that was right before, wasn't it, Matt? Help me with my memory.
Oh, that
Was
would have been
Cher
after.
before or after Greg Allman?
After. You had her after. You had Cher after Greg Allman. How do you feel
So I
about
had
that?
Greg Allman first, and then I had Cher?
Yes.
Thank you.
He doesn't remember, though.
Right. I can see how that would happen. Greg Allman had the long blonde hair, and, what are you going to do, right?
That's right.
I mean, at the end of the night, you take what's around.
I'll never forget the night I got together with Greg Allman, and we put him in the makeup.
Yes.
And brought him into the room with Cher. She never knew the difference.
Wow. That sounds hot.
Yeah, it was.
Jeez. Greg and Cher, their marriage was so short, she'd even have a chance to flick the rice out of her navel.
Mm-hmm. And then one night we dressed me up as Cher, and Greg never knew the difference.
I can believe that.
That was hot, too, man.
The prodigious intake of dope, which is, we consider dope a very wide, could be anything.
You're dope, Mr. Hopper.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Well,
Circa
that's
1988.
The young people say that now. It's a compliment.
That's correct.
Like you're dope or
You're
that's dope.
That's
Yeah.
what I meant.
Are we back in 1988?
No, the present day.
Shaggy 2 Dope from Insane Clown Posse.
Right, he wears makeup.
That's right.
Yes.
He's one of my favorites.
Oh, I bet.
One of my favorite musicians.
Right.
Brilliant song.
I thought you didn't like rap, Gene Simmons.
I'm not
of
a big
Kiss.
fan of rap, but the Insane Clown Posse is indeed an exception to the rule.
Wow.
They mix a little funk, a little hard rock. Talented, brilliant songwriters, as I say.
Yeah.
And, they have their own bungalows or whatever they're called, right? Bungalows?
Oh, the
Juggalos?
the Juggalos.
Juggalos.
Yes.
The
yes.
Juggalos. That's what their fans call themselves, Mr. Hopper. The Juggalos.
Yeah.
And they go to the concerts and they pee on each other and they beat each other up and
Yeah. They're great people.
Yes.
Some of the most just sophisticated, fascinating people I've ever met have been Juggalos.
Juggalos.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're what rock and roll is all about.
When I worked at a music store up in Guilford, New Hampshire, there was this girl who worked there, and this guy used to come in and hit on her, and he was a juggalo, and he came in one day and he said to her, "Are you down with the clowns?" And she was just like, "No." And he left very sad. He was a juggalo.
That's too bad.
She wasn't down with the clowns.
I'm going to assume that he probably went right back home and got right back on the PlayStation.
I'm going to assume that as well.
That's correct.
Yes.
Well, boys, I guess it's been real, but I'm going to let you have your last 25 minutes to yourself. I've got to get back on tour.
You're avoiding... I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Mr. Hopper.
Are you and Andrew Dice Clay still on the outs?
No, we did make up.
You did.
In fact, we made up last night.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
Does that have something to do with the $50 million in your jeans?
No. I
remember you had the falling out when... What was that terrible movie that your missus... Well, she wasn't your missus then.
Ford Fairlane?
No, she was in some movie where Andrew Dice Clay was the head of the terrorists, remember? It's like something like No Exit.
I
One of those...
very, very rarely pay attention to
Are
my
you
wife.
possibly
That's
confusing...
24 or 5 years ago.
Are you confusing Andrew Dice Clay with Steven Seagal, possibly?
No. This was Shannon Tweed got top billing. She made a lot of... They were semi, soft... I wouldn't say soft core. They were erotic thrillers. They used to be on that cable channel.
Skinamax?
Yeah.
She has made a lot of films, Gene Simmons of Kiss.
She has.
And the next time you come back, I want to find out why she's nicknamed the Turtle.
What about her sister, Tracy?
Tracy Tweed?
Yeah, Tracy Tweed. You ever...
She's waiting for me down in the limo right now.
No kidding.
She's counting the cash.
That's correct.
Wow. All right.
That's why I have to go, by the way.
Okay.
She's downstairs right now, triple parked in the limo.
Yes, waiting to go to Bill's Donuts.
She just vibrated me on my phone.
Wow.
Yes, we are going to Bill's Donuts.
Yes.
For dinner.
Wow.
Dinner.
Look at the crepes.
They're typically not even open this time of the day.
Right, but for you...
For me, they're opening.
You've got some money to spend.
That's correct. We're going to have the Kiss Crepe, and we're going to have the Kiss Cruller.
Oh.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Kiss Cruller?
The Kiss Cruller.
Huh.
Was spelled with a K, I assume.
Right.
Yes.
And let's not forget the Kiss Cross Buns. They have those there as well.
Wow.
In 4 different flavors.
No kidding.
To honor each one of the band members. Yes. Try one of those.
The Kiss Cross Buns.
The Kiss Cross Buns.
I will.
Every time you order one of those, 48 cents goes to Gene Simmons.
I thought it was 49 cents.
Shut up, Hopper.
And you don't have to split that with Paul Stanley?
I don't.
Wow.
I don't.
That's why he's at $150 million.
Right, yeah.
Paul Stanley's still in Hamburg, Germany right now touring.
Oh, right.
Is it true he makes all the decisions?
No, that's not true.
Yeah, that is what I hear all the time. It's
all the time.
He really runs
as
Kiss.
far as the
him
business,
saying it.
The business portion, some things Paul runs and makes the, let's say, the logical decisions.
Oh, okay.
Right. I do all the rest of the deciding.
Oh, okay.
The things that matter, I decide.
The things that matter.
Right,
Gotcha.
right. If you know what I mean. I'm winking at Matt right now, fans.
Right.
Does that include turtle heading?
Turtle heading. Well, I don't know what turtle heading is.
Oh, you're almost as coy as the Yeti here.
What is the turtle heading, Matt?
We'll have to bring that up on Matt Connaughton Unsheathed.
Yeah, that's a very different show, Gene Simmons of Kiss. You could come on there with Tracy and Greg Allman.
I'd like to go on alone.
Is Greg Allman dead?
Greg Allman's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, he died.
You'd have to dig him up, but I think it'd be a great show.
I recently saw him in a Celebrity Deaths video.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
Was it a Paul Cormier Celebrity Death?
I don't know who produced it, but I got to tell you, it was fascinating.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. 2017.
Okay.
It's amazing he lasted as long as he did.
Yes. Well, they say those drugs will preserve you. So.
Oh, I don't know. Dwayne certainly. How old was he? 26 or 7?
I
when
don't
he
know.
Slammed his motorcycle into the back of that peach truck.
Well, a motorcycle killed him, not drugs.
Is that how he died?
Yeah, they say he was high and he was on a bike and
he ran
slammed into a peach truck in Georgia.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were good old boys.
Slammed into a Georgia peach.
That's why the next album was Eat a Peach.
Is that really why?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. That's actually really interesting.
He's a great guitarist. Dwayne.
Is he making this up, Gene Simmons of Kiss?
That's what we heard. That's what everybody was saying in the 1970s. Now we have the internet to prove that all that stuff, like Shannon Tweed being called the Turtle, is wrong.
Oh,
right.
But, it doesn't make for good radio.
No.
No.
Well, all right, Gene Simmons
All
of
right,
Kiss. Well,
boys.
do you have a request for your closing song?
Yes, I do. I would like to hear Dr. Love as I walk out.
Oh, you'd like to hear some Dr. Love.
I want to hear my theme song as I walk out. And Matt, by the way, the day that I die,
yes,
which will be a horrible day, as we all know.
Yes, it
I
will.
want you to be in charge of DJing my funeral, and I want this song to be played on a loop.
Okay.
At my wake. At my wake, when the Kiss casket is open, I want this song to be playing loud.
Do you get any income from Kiss caskets?
Of course I do. What are you, nuts?
Oh, he'll still be making money even when he's...
That's correct.
Yes. And do you mind if I play the re-recorded version that you guys did?
What
Gene
is the
Simmons of Kiss?
re-recorded version?
From Sonic Boom, there was a bonus disc of songs, classic Kiss songs. You guys
Matt,
re-recorded.
I only like the original.
Well,
Kiss.
if you insist, I really like the re-recorded.
I've
one.
never heard I haven't heard the second version in a long time. So go ahead.
All right, we'll go with that one then. Great. All right, Gene Simmons of Kiss. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm walking out now.
All right, very
Play
good.
Play it. Let me hear it as I walk out.
You need my love, baby, oh so bad. You're not the only one I've ever had. And if I say I wanna set you free, don't you know you'll be in misery? They call me Dr. Love. They call me Dr. Love. Call me Dr. Love. I've got the cure you're thinking of. Call me Dr. And even though I'm full of sin, in the end you let me in.
always nice to see Gene Simmons of Kiss here in the studio. It's always such a surprise.
Yeah, it is. Usually, particularly when you don't hear the commotion beforehand.
I know.
From his adventurous parking over homeless people.
So before we run out of time, you were going to tell us the story of
what?
Of
No exit?
Ed Young. No, Ed Young.
Ed Young is somebody we went to high school with.
What do you
And he
mean?
wanted to be a movie director.
What do you mean we?
Heidi and her
okay. I was gonna
husband
say,
and myself.
yeah. Yes.
And he used to come on Ward 13 with John Hopwood.
Right. And he's been banned.
He hasn't been banned, but he's a pain in the keister.
Okay.
Yeah, you ask him, well, we'll talk about whatever, and he wants to talk about himself. He's been in like 8 zillion bad movies. None with a budget that would beat like $50,000. Although he's been like an extra in movies. But he wanted to be a movie director.
Oh.
His hero was Roman Polanski, but this was back, before. Well, actually, it was contemporaneous with the incident at, Angelica Houston's house. Where he raped the 13-year-old girl.
Who did?
Roman Polanski.
Oh, okay.
Not Ed.
Okay, yeah. I just, good to
Ed
clarify
was
that.
only 18 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you said he was rude in some way, and that's why you don't want to have him on anymore.
Well, what did he say? We're trying to talk to something, and the Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, which was a Clint Eastwood movie that Paul and I both liked. It was Michael Cimino who won the Oscar for directing The Deer Hunter, and then destroyed his career in United Artists, making Heaven's Gate, which was one of the most notorious bombs in the history of movies. That was the first movie he ever directed. So we're trying to talk about that. And he says, when I go to these thriller, fan conventions, people think I'm Jeff Bridges, which he looks nothing like Jeff Bridges. So it's always interesting. And he was always a big horror movie fan.
Mm-hmm.
And he appears in these low-budget horror movie fans. He's actually a good actor, but, what can you do?
So is he currently active?
Yeah. You can Edward X. Young. You can look him up on the IMDb.
Okay.
I might have written his biography many years ago.
Oh, you might have.
I haven't updated it. I wonder if I wrote Shannon Tweed's biography.
Oh.
I think I'll go Chuck.
The
turtle.
Yes, the turtle.
The turtle.
So,
but it's really a Friday, and we're petering out here.
Well, we got some time yet. Actually, there was something interesting
about Donald Trump.
Well, I'm looking for.
Do you really think the flag or glory is the true first lady of this nation, or should Melania have that honor?
Well, clearly it should be Melania.
Red, white, and blue, baby.
We can end with this. I found this on my favorite website, rightwingwatch.org. Mary Colbert says, there's a lot of talk now about this whole climate change thing. Mary Colbert, who is a religious right activist and author, she was a guest on the Jim Baker Show, and according to her, it's actually sin, not climate change, that is causing extreme weather and national disasters.
Well, how can you argue with that?
Well, that's true. I mean, she could be onto something, I suppose.
Well, it's overpopulation, which comes from sexual intercourse, which is godless.
Right.
People should refrain from making love. Even, baby making's frowned upon.
Right. And if they do it to propagate the species, they should at the very least not enjoy it.
Well, they shouldn't even do that.
Right.
I think heterosexuality is a sin. And non-reproductive sex should be celebrated. And with the heterosexuality, the reproductive sex just outlawed. Just plain outlawed.
Sure.
I mean, it's we've had enough of this, boy-girl thing, what they call the old in and out and all that.
Right,
It's ruining the whole friggin' world.
It really has.
And it makes God very upset.
Yes, he doesn't like that at all.
He does not want, he freely admits, as he did to one of the prophets at I frequently counsel
Mhm.
that his biggest mistake was the orgasm.
Clearly.
He got it right, he feels, with the female,
Mhm.
making it incredibly difficult, but with men, he really F-bombed up.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello to Tony Petrello in the Facebook live chat who says, hey, well, let's listen to this, what Mary Colbert has to say. Maybe
About
she can
God?
convince us.
The Word of God.
I am.
He knows what's written. Now, he's not all-knowing, but he also knows
not.
what we can read is prophetically written in the Word.
That's right.
And I truly believe, because he knows that the Word says that toward the end time, earthquakes, tornadoes, storms, all
Tornadoes.
these things are going to happen. It's the birth pains of the return of Jesus
Amen.
Christ. Now, the enemy is trying to change that narrative for the mindset of the people that this has to do with climate change, so that they can believe it's something outside of their control that's happening, that man can do something to control it, when in fact the thing man needs to do is repent.
Amen. Repent.
And repentance would delay things, but because of this hard-heartedness and evil that is increasing, the birth pangs of the earth is getting worse. Has nothing to do with coal, has nothing to do
Climate
with
change.
emission,
Yeah.
has to do with the sin nature of that's increasing in the earth.
So God is punishing us for being a sinful people?
Yes. Well, that is...
how can you argue with that?
It's a fascinating outlook, because I was under the impression that climate change was the result of the world's scientists colluding with liberals to destroy capitalism, using climate change as an instrument of that. But apparently it's actually God's mad. Which is an even more obvious and logical explanation.
But I thought she said this is part of the birth pangs
The
of
birth
bringing
pangs.
Jesus back. So how could that be bad? So
Good point.
If we're sinning by all this in and outing and stuff, and just think about the gases that are released in those acts.
Boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's little known fact that probably even more than cows belching, people. You know whating have they're doing a real number on the atmosphere, or whatever the hell you want to call it. You know,
Right.
I'm not very current to use a French word term.
Yes.
But so if we're all water in and outing, which reminds me of In-N-Out Burger, which is excellent in California. It's a nice change. But let's get back to brass tacks. It seems that by our sinning, we are bringing Christ back.
Oh, that's a good way to look
that must
at
be
it.
a good thing.
Right, right.
In fact, I feel like going out and mowing the lawn.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Put
Do
the
you?
get my hand on the old rope and giving it a twirl again.
Wow.
See if that engine kicks in.
No kidding. Oh, goodness. Well, that's...
Somehow I have my doubts, but I do have a can of, is it called WD-40? Oh, yeah. Good for anything that ails you.
Oh.
Just like love, man.
Right.
Love is good for anything that ails you.
Right.
God's love.
Yes, God's love.
So I think this woman is full of...
Okay. I don't know. I think she might be on to something.
Do you?
I do.
I feel that she's making a good living pitching this horse manure. Horse pucky, whatever you
Hey,
call it.
God wants us to have abundance. Remember?
You mean 8 billion babies, 8 billion people?
No, an abundance of wealth.
I say drop the bomb.
I know you do. Yes, it would give the earth a much-needed cleansing.
Well, yeah, Heaven's Gate, that got rid of United Artists.
And it got rid of a bunch of people who they all wore sneakers, and they all killed themselves.
Oh, well, you and your religious obsessions. I'm more of a artsy-fartsy type, you know what I mean?
Right, yes.
So if you think like an artist, everything's good.
What do you mean?
Everything's good. Look at how you're flourishing on with Trump's insanity.
That's true.
You'd just be talking about, oh, my God, they just... Think about this, Manchester. Well, you never do address Manchester.
No.
Think about this, IP. Well, you don't address them here. Who do you address?
We address everyone. We address the nation.
Everybody. Oh, my God. They just had another vote on the oil depletion allowance. When will the madness ever end? That's not who exciting radio was.
That was pretty exciting. That was, you were very,
But Trump, what's he going to do next? I've got the key to why he has the 42%.
Why?
It's the perception of will. Will. Which, we'll bring up next week if you care to tune in, if I ever show up again.
The perception of will.
It's the or misperception of will.
Oh.
There is a common... If you're a person that doesn't believe in free will...
Right.
Of course I do, being a Christian. I believe in free will.
Oh, yes.
Although I am one of the few people that actually have free will.
Why is that?
I don't know. A voice told me as I was walking up here after parking the car.
Oh,
reparking the car.
Were you walking up? What was it, Heidi Hamer? Because apparently she's been near you and you didn't notice her.
Oh, she's got talents that I guess are imperceptible. But people have a misperception that, let's just say, you thought about something. Oh, call me. And somebody calls.
Right.
You willed the call.
Yes.
So when
you put
irrational,
the energy out there.
It's irrational.
Mm-hmm.
So when these people that just would pluck Donald Trump's hairs if he asked them to, which you and I understand Yetis have free will. I just got that message from, that might be Norm.
Oh, right.
The Normogram.
Right.
And so we're aghast at this. But you see, because of the irrational nature of that beast in the White House, and he is making their thoughts come true.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he has given them will. And then we go to Hitler, the power of the will. Although I haven't seen that movie by Leni Riefenstahl or whatever. If only Fred was here to correct me on my pronunciation. He would agree that it was the South Germans against the North Germans that gave us Hitler.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe vice versa.
Yeah. Sure.
Even in Germany, when I was in Germany in the 80s, they all thought it was Schwabians, Bavarians. They didn't really think of themselves as Germans, although I did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, we got to start to wrap up because we're just about out of time. So thank you, sir. And thank you to Gene Simmons of KISS.
Hypnotism is part of it, too, Matt.
Yes. And thank you to everybody in the Facebook live chat. And thank you to EZG for calling.
Gene Simmons?
I mentioned Gene Simmons. Oh, no. EZG is not Gene Simmons. It's two different people.
I thought you would rename them Easy K.
Oh, that's true, yes. I don't know if EZG knows yet that he's been renamed Easy K.
I think that you're mesmerizing me and confusing me.
Probably, yes. And if you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org.
Hey, and hoist a pint for the first magistrate of the Republic.
Yes.
Donald John Trump.
Yes.
And the beautiful First Lady, Old Glory.
Happy Flag Day. Happy Pride Day. And we'll be back next week. And Granite State of Mind with the great Rob Azevedo is next. Don't forget, of course, the morning show with Peter White, weekdays 7 to 9 a.m. And all the other programming here at WMNH. We got a lot of great stuff. And that's it for now. Talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
She's a fly MC and the light of my life. So to bust the rhyme without further ado, take it away, Mary Sue.
Jesus Christ is my... He's the son of the original G. And he was sent to Earth to elucidate the way that we should be. What? Like if another MC says, you're a freak, you're a lame butt rapper and your rhymes are weak. I don't get mad and I don't critique. I forgive him and turn the other cheek. I don't blaspheme and I don't brag. I don't cuss and my pants don't sag. I do exude a little Christian swag and I'm proud to be an American.
Jesus Christ is a... Let his light shine through ya. Let his love pop a cap in your butt and say hallelujah. Jesus Christ is a... He's a homie MC, JC, you see. He's an honest, caring, peace-loving like me. If you do drugs and you think you're cool, you need to come to Sunday school. Put those drugs in a garbage can. Stand up tall.
IPMNation.com.